Hey Tim, so first things first, I'm struggling with a massive headache here that is partially due to the construction that's going outside out my door, and partially due just to blackboard headaches. So I'm going to try to drum up as much enthusiasm as I can. Um, I'd also like to say before I start, I see that you're screencasting from your house, and so I just want to thank you for. Can you hear that? Thank you for living the dream there. Um, okay, let's see if I can pull it together long enough to show you some things about Federated Wiki. The first question you had, which is a good question, is how do you find help? There's actually a really simple way to find help. Sorry, I'm laughing at the noise outside my door. So if you go into anything, if you do anything, say you add this and you drop in there. On Windows, I'm not quite sure what it is on Mac, but on Windows, I don't know if you can see, but I do Alt, right, and I do I, and that gives me this window here that will tell me how to use that plugin. So in the paragraph plugin, there's only two kinds of formatting, and that's links and external links, and the external links are just a single bracket with a URL and a keyword. If you want to do anything more complex than that, you can do the markdown. And if you do the Alt-I on the markdown, it'll show you what we support in the markdown, which is a pretty limited set of things. A lot of people disagree with our philosophy of things, and I don't know, you may as well, but one of the things that we found is by making the formatting one extra step, people tend to format less, and that actually tends to increase the reusability of the stuff that people write, right? People don't get too crazy with the formatting. The other thing it really does is, so if people want to do a heading, they'll open up a markdown and they'll do a heading. And because they do that heading separate from the normal text, right, the paragraph text, right, it means that these two things are draggable individually, which is good because sometimes you're going to want to drag a paragraph without dragging the heading. Whereas when people have all the formatting commands at their disposal, and oftentimes what they do is just throw it into one big block. I think the end game is probably to do something that is more medium-ish, where medium really dissuades you from using too much markup, but does that in a way that's a little less clunky. Now, the other thing you ask is how to find people, and this is one of the issues. And to some extent, we're kind of, we're the federated web, but we're the federated web before Google. I'm sorry I'm so discombobulated here, but really the noise and Blackboard together have just been too much today. So let me show you this other thing that we've been working on, which I think is pretty neat, and which may answer your idea. So this is a new feature. It just got released, so you would have to update your server. But it's I think it came out in a release 2 weeks ago, and it's a response to feedback we had in the happenings that people wanted ways to organize different sorts of people and load them all at once. So we have this thing called rosters, and you can make a roster yourself. Right here, it's available. If you want to know how to make a roster, again, you can do the Alt-I, and it will tell you what the markup and the different sorts of things you can do are. But I have a roster right here, and if we go in and we look at it, we'll see that a roster is a bunch of headings, and then it's a bunch of sites. So you can sort of think like maybe Twitter lists or something like that. And because we don't want to hit the server too hard, because when you load a site, you load a short abstract of every page in that site to make it searchable. They're grouped in these groups of, I forget how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, like 20 maybe. And when you hit this little thing at the end of a group, you'll see that down here it loads all those sites. So I can go through and I wouldn't go too click happy on this. Like, don't load, if you're going to load 300 sites, load them in tranches. But now you see these sites loading. You see here as these load how many pages are loading up. And really, I should add just a whole Mike Caulfield thing here because I have like 25 sites, and there's a lot of stuff in those sites. When they load up, if I type something like, I don't know if privacy will have, yeah. So we get all these privacy results from these people that we've loaded up, and one of them here is this idea of differential privacy. And you find neat things like this, right? So needle in a haystack is related to that idea. A needle in a haystack is a way of achieving privacy, right? I mean, your privacy, if you can be a needle in a haystack, you have some privacy, end of privacy, right? I don't know whose site this is or whether it's responding. So this is one issue. When you see this come, okay, yeah, so that someone's running a remote site. I think that person is running one in Switzerland. Pod Hay. And again, we can actually, so you've got a privacy thing here. So it's not a perfect solution, but what I'll do is I'll make you a roster. And I'm just going to send you the text to paste into your roster, and you can add a roster to your site and then load up things. And again, it's not a perfect solution, but I'm amazed even with a very small federation, how many things you can find, and particularly because the way that people write these things and the way we encourage people to write these things are as tiny little idea nuggets. So you're not getting a large essay on privacy here. You're getting, here you're getting this little bit on the motion microscope. Here you're getting something on Hello Barbie, right? The embedded microphone. And so I found actually, when I write keynotes and plenaries now, this is the way I do it. Because I can assemble a whole bunch of different ideas and really push my thinking outwards instead of being so driven in this linear way. Now, when you're done doing this, you're probably going to want to arrange it and stuff and pull it into the post. And I should show you how to do that more effectively. One thing I've worked with is I have this, running off of Reclaim, I have this thing called Wickedy that I've been doing where I browse federated wiki sites, but I output them as HTML. And so if you organize things into a page, right, it becomes a lot easier. It's in HTML, and it becomes a lot easier to just sort of select what you want and drop it into your blog post. Whereas when you try to select things in Federated Wiki, they still jiggle around and stuff. Or, if you want to share it, one of the things I've been hoping for the Wickedy code is it would allow you to write something up in Federated Wiki, organize one page that has all of it on it, and then maybe have your post here, but along the side, you might be able to have some of these little nuggets, right? And these nuggets, would allow people to follow up on some of these ideas. Okay, I don't know how long this video has been. It's like been like an hour and a half, I think. But I hope this helps. And I'm really so glad to see you using it. I'm particularly glad to see you using it in this sort of um, mind mapping way where we really use hypertext as hypertext, because that's the thing I'm trying to get people to really understand. The idea of if we write in these little reusable bits of information, um, the ideas that we could have would be ideas that we wouldn't be able to think without this tool. So that's all I can muster up in my current state. Anyway, anything you want regarding this, let me know. This is I'm doing a lot of things that are unpleasant for work right now, and this is my one true joy. So you're never bothering me if you want to talk about this.